Coverage of the 2026 NCBA Cattle Convention on AgDay is brought to you by Alltech. Alltech delivers smarter, more sustainable solutions for agriculture. Our diverse portfolio of products and services improves the health and performance of plants and animals, resulting in better nutrition for all.
Well, joining us here from CattleCon is Ethan Lane with NCBA, and we're going to talk about some of the 2026 legislative priorities for the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. Ethan, we're all kind of fixated on when the border is going to reopen to Mexican cattle and the protocol for New World screwworm. How are we going to make that criteria of when the border opens?
Well, that process is going on right now. Obviously this time last year they were developing the protocols for the actual physical crossing of cattle. Now we're getting to this point where we're seeing those cases creep closer. We know that we're going to have to put that playbook into effect here at some point. We would imagine as to how we move cattle through the system once we have New World screwworm on our side of the border. At some point during all of that process, they will need to have a conversation about what it looks like to reopen the border. When that happens, there has to be a plan, right? It has to be predictable in how it plays out so that the market has some stability. We spent the fall sort of being subject to market volatility that wasn't informed by fundamentals, but rather by kind of rampant speculation and internet rumors. That's not a good way to do business. We need to make sure we have an orderly plan moving forward that producers can rely on and that they can plan around for what that's going to look like.
You also want to button up some of these trade memorandums of understanding and as well get China re-registered on some of those beef plants, right?
Yeah, more than 400 plants still deregistered for their ability to ship into the Chinese market. That is something around $165 a head in lost value to producers. Obviously, we didn't see any movement on the beef front in the first round of those negotiations that the president had with President Xi, but we have an understanding, as he has said, that they're going to continue to talk through stuff, so we're hopeful maybe in a future round we'll get some attention on that. Additionally, there are some of those frameworks that have really looked like there's some promise there for us, so we're anxious to see them make some progress. The British announcement, the UK 13,000 metric ton quota, that's a hurdle we've been trying to get over for years. It introduces us to an audience that's not had a ton of access to our product.
And talk about some of the deregulatory policy that you're looking at as well.
Right now, top of the list, gray wolf. We've waited through 3 administrations for the gray wolf to be delisted, both Republican administrations and Democratic administrations. It always gets overturned in court. There is a real opportunity here to finally help our producers who are really being ravaged by gray wolves across the West and Mexican gray wolves in my country down in Arizona and New Mexico. Time is now to get something done on this, and something we're really talking a lot about here this week, and we're really going to be talking to Washington about a lot after this meeting.
All right, appreciate your time. That is Ethan Lane with NCBA here at CattleCon.